Balance delivered daily. Balance delivered daily. More headlines now from Smerconish.com, the newsletter. I hope you're subscribing. It's free, and it's worthy, and it's terrific. TC, as I look at Smerconish.com, the newsletter today, of course, we have lots of coverage about the very latest in Ukraine. We're a week in. There's a great piece, a great analysis piece that I pulled from the Washington Post talking about how we could be ushering in a new world order now, given the universal condemnation of Russia and Putin and the invasion. This news comes as the first Ukrainian city is now under Russian control. The attacks appear to be escalating. In a related story, and I went with the Wall Street Journal coverage of this, Jack Sweeney, who has been a guest of mine here on POTUS and has been a guest of mine on CNN as well. He is the Florida teenager. He is the Florida college student. In fact, you'll get a kick out of this. I wanted to have him back on CNN on Saturday, but he's flying home for spring break.
Hey, it's spring break. What are you going to do?
He's flying somewhere for spring break.
We don't know where he's flying because we're not tracking him.
No, Mr. Smerconish, I can't be on your show because I'm going on spring break. Well, why am I bringing up Jack Sweeney? Because Jack Sweeney, the 19-year-old, who, of course, got a lot of attention for tracking Elon Musk's Gulfstream, is now tracking Russian oligarchs. His bot is following planes owned by Roman Abramovich. He's the guy who owns Chelsea and is now selling Chelsea Football Club. And I've got another story at Smerconish.com about Roman Abramovich. But Sweeney is tracking him. He's tracking Leonid Mikhelson, the head of Novatek, that's Russia's largest private natural gas company, and businessman Alisher Usmanov, often cited as Russia's wealthiest businessman. When I think of Jack Sweeney, I think of Matthew Broderick in War Games, a creative American kid, teenager, young man, really having influence. So there's serious news in the newsletter today, as up to date as we're able when we publish, and also some of the other sort of ancillary angles to what's going on in Ukraine. Another story that I pulled from Mediaite, I didn't watch this last night, but apparently Tucker Carlson is demanding to see Ketanji Brown Jackson's LSAT score. And you know what he's saying, right? In asking for her LSAT score, he's suggesting that the only reason she got to where she is because she's African American, not because she's smart. Right. Notwithstanding the fact that she's both Harvard undergrad and Harvard law and overlapped with you.
It's just so disgraceful. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to give it the time of day.
She was a year ahead of you?
She was a year ahead of me. She was 92 at Harvard. It's just so appalling. It's just so, and he's just floating it out there. He has no basis
with
of
that
anything.
Quizzical expression on his face.
I'm just really trying.
I mean, did he want to see Amy Coney Barrett's scores or
not.
Squiggy and Squeeze,
whatever
they were? Who were Brett Kavanaugh's friends?
Wasn't it Squee?
Who were those guys?
I don't know, but we had a calendar on the wall for a while.
I know I went to high school with Brett Kavanaugh's buddies.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was definitely my crowd.
I want to see all their LSATs.
And I'm going to confess something else. If Tucker Carlson ever sees my SAT scores, then I will lose my gig at SiriusXM as well as CNN.
You've talked about your SAT scores all the time. It's not a secret.
Well, but Tucker is asking for the judge's LSAT score.
Yes.
He can have, Tucker, you can have my LSAT score.
Why? Was there an improvement between SATs and LSATs?
A market improvement.
What changed?
What changed is that in high school when I was taking the SATs, and I can't tell you it was a one-off. I think I took the SATs 3 times.
Oh, I didn't know this.
I have this recollection. Of sitting next to my high school girlfriend.
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
X. That was already a problem, right? But I can remember.
So that's what you were concentrating on when you're supposed to be taking your SATs.
It's worse. I can remember, how could I make this up? Writing on a piece of paper and showing it to her. No, not that the answer was C.
Oh, no.
But rather that I wrote Cheap Trick, ? Because Cheap Trick, I want you to want me, it's surrender, et cetera, et cetera. Cheap Trick was at the Spectrum the night I took the LSATs, and I got in my head during the test, we should go to the concert tonight. And we did. And
so,
we did.
Like you asked her out in the middle of the SATs. Is that what you're saying?
We were already boyfriend and girl.
I know, but you asked her out on a date.
Yeah, old school. Date. Want to go to Cheap Trick tonight?
Then did you put like X, like check X, check no?
I should have been instead asking for answers. Instead, I was more focused on
like
Cheap
check
Trick.
Yes, check no.
So, anyway.
Wait, no, but what happened? Okay, so
what happened?
Basically, you didn't sit next to your girlfriend during the LSAT.
I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
In between my SAT and my LSAT, what happened was Mr. Stanley Kaplan. Because the Stanley Kaplan prep course was something that I took when I was an undergraduate and took seriously. And I had marked improvement in my score. Although I remember, today, everybody, or at least TC in our area, because this is an issue of income disparity. But kids in our area, if they're going to take the SAT or the ACT, and I know that they've fallen out of favor, everybody takes a prep course.
There are a myriad of prep courses and private tutors, and everyone takes one, has one, does that. Everyone. I
remember, being the shuttle to take one of our sons over to. Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of the guy.
I can picture him. Yeah,
but he's built like a whole industry in our area.
Absolutely.
And, the traffic getting in and out of the place was like insane.
Right. And you knew everyone.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's absolutely because we live in a moneyed area with tons of private schools and the public schools are very wealthy. And
I had no prep
100%.
course. No prep course.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I had the book.
I had a book.
Yeah. I had
a book.
Anyway. Coverage from the New York Times making the cut at Smerconish.com today about Donald Trump. The House committee investigating January 6th. The attack on the Capitol said yesterday that they think there's enough evidence to conclude that Trump and some of his allies may have conspired to commit fraud and obstruction. What's this all about? Well, they want to see the communications that Trump had with conservative lawyer John Eastman. Eastman was one of the lawyers providing a legal justification for not accepting the certification of the Electoral College vote. Big picture, step back. What's this story about? The January 6th investigation, they're a civil investigation. They can make recommendations to the Justice Department, but they don't have the ability to indict Trump. Other investigations taking a look at Donald Trump could indict Trump, but they cannot. And I stand by my same assessment of where Trump is vis-a-vis the 2024 election. If he wants the nomination, he'll get the nomination, so long as he's healthy, solvent, and unindicted. Healthy, solvent, and unindicted. There is a story from the Philadelphia Inquirer that is in the newsletter today about the very latest in the Pennsylvania Senate race. I maintain that the PA U.S. Senate race is the most interesting in the nation, and indeed control of the U.S. Senate could come down to Pennsylvania. Given the small sample sizes in these surveys, I would not have used the data except that it's Terry Madonna. And Terry Madonna at Franklin and Marshall, F&M, has a really good handle on Pennsylvania. And the gist of it is that the race is wide open. The Pennsylvania side has Dr. Oz. People who are following this from outside of Pennsylvania, Dave McCormick, a developer named Larry Bartos, also running. On the Democratic side of the aisle, it's John Fetterman, who is the lieutenant governor. It's Connor Lamb, and it's State Representative Malcolm Kenyatta, among others, because there are a lot of candidates. Bottom line is both sides of the aisle seem to be wide open. Primary is not until May. Lamb not yet on TV, and, Fetterman just sort of staying in the witness protection program because he's ahead in the polls, and I guess he doesn't want to blow it. From the LA Times, Steve Battaglio's coverage of CNN streaming, I didn't know it was this imminent. It is now the 3rd of March.
It's this month.
Last week of this month.
I know. I had the same reaction to that story.
And something else that I wondered was how much. CNN Plus is scheduled to launch during the last week of March. Initially, the service will be offered at $2.99 a month, a rate locked in for life as long as the account is active. Now, that's some smart marketing.
That is some brilliant marketing.
Right?
I'm clearly going to do that.
I'm clearly going to do that as well.
because then it's going to go.
You would think I would get it gratis, but you know,
you not?
I pay for SiriusXM subscriptions.
Not all. You get one, right?
I don't know. I'm paying for some.
I think you get one.
Do I get one?
You should. I do.
I need an agent. What the hell is wrong with me? I'm going to be paying CNN $2.99 a month. I'm paying SiriusXM like $15 a month on a variety of cars.
It's worth it.
$2.99 a month, locked in for life, as long as the account is active.
I like that a lot.
I think that is really interesting.
Well, and given what they've got coming down, you know, I'm watching all the ads. Obviously, it looks interesting and informative. I mean, I would pay that just for Allison Roman, frankly, and you don't even know who that is.
I'm out of the loop. I'm really curious to see what it all looks like. I want to see Scott Galloway. And I want to see Chris Wallace. I mean, I want to see them all.
Yeah, it's going to be
I don't even know what they're offering.
I know.
So I'm very curious. But the thing is, like $2.99 a month, I can rationalize. We can all, I think, rationalize, I hope. But at a certain point, it's like my streaming. I have got to go through that bill. I'm still paying for Disney because I watched the Beatles Get Back over Christmas.
See, genius.
I've not watched
anything
another
else.
Thing on Disney.
And might never.
Nothing.
Right.
TC.
Yes.
In the realm of television, from Deadline, Wheel of Fortune. Have you paid attention to this?
I have.
Okay. Do you want to tell the story? Because I have something to add.
It is just stunning. So they're calling it like the worst 2+ minutes. I would play you the audio, but it goes on for so long that it's hard to sort of get it. I'll play you the very beginning of it. Basically, there were 10 attempts made to solve a puzzle that was missing only 4 letters. And it said another feather, blank N, Y-O blank R, blank A blank. So another feather in your
cap.
Obviously.
Right.
Right. But so a woman guessed the wrong thing, and then
one woman guessed another feather in your hat.
I'll just tell you how it started, and then we'll go on. So this is what's making the rounds on Twitter.
I'll solve.
Okay.
Another feather in your hat.
But then it goes on, and the guy guesses the wrong consonant, another wrong consonant. A guy spins 2 bankrupts. The other guy spins 2 bankrupts. I mean, it is insane. She guesses the wrong thing 2 more times. And they finally, the guy gets it after going through 10 different guesses on that. It's insane.
Pat Sajak has come to the defense of the contestants via Twitter. It always pains me when nice people come on our show to play a game and win some money and maybe fulfill a lifelong dream and are then subject to online ridicule when they make a mistake or something goes awry. Now imagine you're on national TV and you're suddenly thrown a curve and you begin getting worried about looking stupid. And if the feather isn't in your hat, where the heck can it be? You start flailing away looking for alternatives rather than synonyms for hat. And of course, when it's solved, you want to crawl in a hole. I've been praised online for keeping it together and not making fun of the players. Truth is, all I want to do is help them get through it and convince them that those things happen even to very bright people.
Well, I thought that was very dear of him.
So here's my footnote on this. My footnote on this is that my father was a contestant on Wheel of Fortune in the Chuck Woolery era because Chuck Woolery preceded Pat Sajak. My father was a returning champion. He won. He crushed it. In fact, on my YouTube channel, under Nuggets, you can watch my dad unbelievably win. Like he solved baseball diamond when there was nothing on the board.
Just perfect.
But to this point, when he came back day 2 and he did not win on day 2, Dallas was a hit TV show and Victoria Principal was the star. And I swear to you, almost every single letter was filled in for Victoria Principal and nobody knew it. And my dad came home from California wondering, what is this show, Dallas?
Well,
and who is Victoria Principal?
Baseball was perfect, but Dallas was just beyond.
No,
Isn't
but
that so interesting?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing happened
in
that show.
Wow.
So good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Those are the headlines from Smerconish.com beyond Ukraine. For the most part, make sure you are a subscriber to the daily newsletter because this is the sort of media balance and interesting content that you will receive. See you tomorrow.